he had a very old pit bull with him at Enterprise car rental in San Jose, and they wouldn't give him a car because of his old dog. Pit bull. I drove them all the way to Santa Cruz. I took him all the way to his beachfront property worth $12 million.
Oh my God, $12 million?
And he definitely looked homeless when I picked him up.
But you just never know, I guess.
Yeah. Did he give you a good tip at least?
So the reason he's so memorable is, one, his dog was cute, and two, he tipped $100 cash.
Wow. Good
I love that story. Welcome back to We Time Convo Podcast.
I'm Debbie.
And I'm Liza.
And today we're taking you for a ride, literally.
Buckle up because we have our guest host, Al, and we are swapping Uber stories, the weird, the wild, and the ones that made us question everything.
From backseat therapy sessions to unexpected detours, let's get into it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to We Time Convo, Al.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you came about coming on today's episode.
I am an Uber driver who's been driving for about 9 years. Uber's only been out for 11, so that's been fun. I have transitioned to detailing cars, detailing old stuff and refurbishing it, and doing landscaping. And I'm doing a giant job at my sister-in-law's house, and that's how I ran into you guys.
And your sister-in-law is?
Irene.
Perfect. All right.
So Al, you mentioned that you've been doing Uber for 9 years. Do you like it?
I love it.
You love it? What do you love about it?
I love being able to have a conversation with anyone, anywhere, and knowing pretty much about any little detail because I've had so many small talks.
Yeah. I was just talking to Liza about I love Uber and Lyft just because the convenience of having that service, not just for myself, but for my husband who likes to drink, as well as my daughter, because there were moments where neither one of us or anybody could pick her up. And so, it's definitely been one of those necessities. And I can't imagine not having Uber or Lyft anymore. Yeah. Right?
Well, there's taxis, but they're so expensive.
Well,
they're much more expensive, and they don't come to your house that fast. Like I can get an Uber or a Lyft to my house in like a minute.
But what I like about Uber, you know what you're going to get. Like, like a taxi, you don't know how much it's going to cost at the end of the day, right? So I appreciate knowing up front what kind of car, the rating and how much it's going to cost me. And
and who the person is. And
yeah. So I really appreciate all of that. I'm sure you have a whole bunch of stories, Al. Yeah.
First of all, how does Uber work? To those very few people that don't know what Uber is, can you tell us a little more background about how it works as a person that works for Uber? Like how you pick up jobs or how that works for you?
So Uber is a third-party app. It shows me locations on a mini map, and it tells me where they're going, how far away they are, and the distance of the trip, meaning miles and minutes. And based off of that, I decide whether I want to take it or not, because it's completely up to the drivers now. Mm-hmm. We're all 1099 employees with a little bit of benefits like health stipends, but at the end of the day, we just do what we're told, and we have the option to say, please get out of our car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, do you do this full time?
No, I do landscaping full time now. I've transitioned out, but I still do about 20 hours a week doing Uber.
And just, I don't know if you want to share, but just roughly estimate how much does that equate to that you could make?
So Uber as a company only pays out about $15 an hour, but because California law says that that's illegal and that they have to pay us a minimum of 20% above minimum wage, I do make about $24 an hour, which is, it's all right.
Pretty good. Yeah. And then you get to keep all the tips, I'm assuming?
So the tips are all mine. Okay. I still have to pay taxes on it because I'm a 1099 employee. But what's nice is that the $24 an hour guaranteed comes every week. So it's kind of like a big bonus that I just randomly get.
Yeah. Oh, that and were you doing it full time for a bit?
Yeah, I was doing up to 60 hours a week when I had babysitters, but when that well just dried up, I was like, all right, part-time and figure it out.
So did you only do Uber or did you do Uber and Lyft?
No, I only did Uber.
Okay.
What was the rationale on that?
I wanted to get to 20,000 trips, and I'm only at 19,600.
So what happens if you get to 20,000?
Nothing.
Oh, it's just your own personal goal. Okay.
Now, how far have you gone to take someone?
So the longest trip time-wise was 2.5 hours, and the longest trip miles-wise was 120 miles.
120. Oh, wow. Wow.
Where did you have to drive them to?
So the 120 miles was Roseville, which is a great place to retire. It's got nothing but chains everywhere.
Now, what was your most memorable trip?
I got a couple of most memorable trips.
Yes, let's hear them.
Are they in general though? In general, I would imagine the people you pick up are pretty straightforward. Do most people like to talk, not talk, or you just kind of get a mixed bag?
So I prefer to talk every time, but based off of body language and communication and just overall how they sound, I can tell pretty much immediately if they want to talk or not.
Got it. So no offense to you if they don't want to talk.
Exactly.
Got it.
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had mentioned you have a couple of memorable trips. Share some stories.
Yeah, I want to hear some stories.
So I have one passenger. He was in his early 40s, maybe late 30s. He had a very old pit bull with him at Enterprise car rental in San Jose, and they wouldn't give him a car because of his old dog.
Pit bull. Okay.
And I drove them all the way to Santa Cruz. They said, "Hey, can we do a stop on the way to get groceries?" I said, "Sure, just remind me." They didn't remind me. I forgot. And then I took him all the way to his beachfront property worth $12 million.
Oh my God. $12 million?
And he definitely looked homeless when I picked him up.
But
you just never know, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we live in the Bay. You don't know.
Yeah. There are some people that look pretty homeless, but actually have a lot of money.
That's very true. Did he give you a good tip at least?
So the reason he's so memorable is one, his dog was cute, and two, he tipped $100 cash.
Wow. Good
I love that story.
Yep. Good tipper. And I don't know. The dog thing always gets me.
Well, I have an Uber story for you.
Go for it.
Can I share mine?
Yes, go.
So I actually was out on a date and we were sitting in his car and we were parked right in front of I don't know if it was a venue. If it was a venue. We were sitting right in front of his car and he leans over and he kisses me. So we're kissing and all of a sudden somebody opens up the back door and tries to sit inside. And then we're looking to the back and he's like, "Hello." And he was like, "This is not an Uber." And they're like, "Oh my God." And they left. It happened 2 more times after that. And I'm
really?
like, okay, you need to lock your door now. Because they're total cock blocks right now. But I'm like, how do you just climb into a car and immediately think it's an Uber? You don't
Maybe they thought it looked like one?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of my, I thought that was
funny.
hilarious. And I always will remember that because they randomly just kept getting in the car. And they were teenagers too. And me being a mom, I wanted to be like, hello, do you just randomly walk into other people's cars not knowing? Double check the license plate, dude.
Well, I remember one Uber story that I have is I went with a couple of girlfriends going out at night, and one of the girlfriends was not feeling good because it was a night of drinking, and the Uber driver that picked us up was like, and I think he just kind of felt sorry for us. He was like, no, we're fine. And I think as soon as he realized we got on the freeway that one of our girls was not fine, and he was like, oh man.
She was going to throw up?
Yeah, she's not gonna no, she's not. And we're like, don't throw up. But you could tell he was like, oh, why did I take these girls? He did make 2 stops on our way to our destination because she did have to throw up, which I could tell he was not happy doing. But
sometimes he would rather kick you out.
But he would rather. Well, he felt bad because obviously we'd get stuck.
Yeah.
But he did not want her to throwing up in the car and cleaning up that mess, and he just wanted to get us home. Yeah. Have you had those instances, and have you actually had somebody mess up your car?
Yeah.
So I've had 4 different people throw up in my car.
Inside the car?
All 4 of them were inside the car. 2 of them covered the entire vehicle because they opened it while we were on the freeway. They opened up the window and
Oh my God.
And it just like went back inside.
Oh.
one of them threw up all over their shirt. And the other one only threw up on the side of the car because I kept pulling over for him.
Oh my gosh. And do you do the, so I'm not, I don't know, but do you bill them for that cleanup?
So in the early years of Uber, so the first like 3 or 4, they used to give you $250. I only got that collection twice. One person peed on themselves in the front seat while they were drunk.
Oh my God.
Shit.
I've been drunk a lot, but I've never been that drunk.
Oh, so you collected from them directly, or does Uber pay for you?
Uber charges them.
Oh, okay.
Wow. And then you get the money.
Yes.
But I mean, the hassle of cleaning that up is just $250 doesn't sound like a lot.
Well, the good news is it dropped down all the way to $50.
Oh, no.
You can't even get a detail.
I
like
know.
A car detail
I would be like, no. So this is the whole.
And you know what?
You have a right to refuse.
Yeah. That's bodily fluids. That's like a health hazard.
Why would they drop it down to 50? I would imagine they'd raise it.
Well, car washes now, they say bodily fluids cannot be detailed. So even if you wanted to just clean the bench of your car and they know it's puke, they won't do it. So you as an Uber driver have to do it now.
So why do they decrease it? What was their logic?
They're trying to be friendlier to the passengers.
Oh no, I would totally refuse.
But you have the right to like just kick them out of your car, right?
Yeah, and if they're stumbling, I just tell them, I'm not picking you up. Bye.
Oh God,
That's awful.
yeah, that's horrible.
So now, have you had any people have sex on the back of your car? You know it probably happens. Or almost.
So I've dealt with 4 breakups, and 2 of the breakups, the girl tried to suck his dick on the way through.
You're like, Liza, why did you ask this question? Yeah.
To their location.
Oh my gosh.
And then one of the guys, I had to pull over to go to the bathroom, and he pulled on a condom and he jacked off into the condom and then threw it on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Debbie, and you were sitting here saying, oh my God, I can imagine being an Uber driver. So much fun.
No.
Oh my God. So did you kick that guy out of your car?
No, I dropped him off at Disneyland.
What? Disneyland? What? This is crazy.
Yeah. That's a wild story.
Well, you know, it's the happiest place on earth.
Oh my God. No.
So have you heard I'm sure you've heard a lot of arguments in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty fun.
Yeah.
My least favorite is obviously work calls in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you get some good, juicy, like, whoa. Oh, anybody famous?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Mahershala Ali, the Oscar winner. He was promoting his movie Moonlight back when I was still driving in Hollywood.
Nice.
I
can imagine.
And how
hearing
was he? Was he quiet?
He was quiet. He was wearing a brown plaid suit with very fancy sunglasses. The suit was fitted, and I said, man, you look good in that suit. And he said, thanks. I just bought it yesterday.
Did you know who it was right away?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now, when you picked him up, did it say his name?
It said Ali.
Oh, so not his exact name.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as he walked in, you're like, I know who you are.
And I did pick him up from the Hollywood Hotel, so.
Did you get a lot of like clientele in Hollywood as opposed to like, did you do it here or just over there in?
So I did 1 year in SoCal, and then I did 8 years here. We actually moved here because the work opportunity was just way better, and we got free rent.
Nice.
Hey, you can't beat free rent.
Yeah, in Silicon Valley, you can't beat free rent.
Now, is the clients in Southern Cal and up here, if you compare, are they quite different?
Yeah, I live in Sunnyvale now, and majority of the clients there is 80% Indian and 20% Taiwanese.
Oh, okay. And now, do you have kind of a set schedule where you actually do Uber? Or you just do it whenever you feel like it?
So
it is whenever I have either a babysitter for my son or my son is at school.
Got it. Got it. And do you do it now? Because you say you're doing it part-time. Do you do it for the extra cash, or you do it for the, break, or like, why do you do it?
To meet people, converse.
I still haven't hit 20,000.
That is your number.
Will you stop after 20,000 or you keep going?
I might stop when I get exactly 20,000.
Jeez. And how much mileage do you think you put on your car doing Uber?
Over 400,000.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Zero accidents, zero at fault.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, Al.
5-star Uber driver.
I was just going to say, what's your star rating? 5-star?
5-star, multiple years.
There you go.
Nice. Yeah, look out for Al, guys.
Yeah. So Al, tell us, if you want to be an Uber driver, what do you got to do? Do you recommend it? Do you recommend being an Uber driver?
If you're retired, I highly recommend it because it gives you purpose. If you're young, you shouldn't do it because it's just going to kill your car. And if you're somewhere in the middle, it's easy cash with little effort. You just got to pay attention.
Oh.
Yeah. I see a lot of Lyft and Uber cars now. They're either hybrid cars or they're electric cars.
Yep.
But I don't know if that's, I'm assuming you probably, depending how busy you are, you'd have to stop and charge constantly as opposed to getting gas, right?
So the problem with electric cars is it's the exact equivalent to having a smartphone. It is completely worthless after a couple of years, and you should never get it because the ROI is garbage.
That makes sense.
So I drive a 2024 RAV4 Hybrid LE. I got it used with 40,000 miles, and it only cost 28,000. And the ROI is insane on that car.
Yeah.
It's going to go up in value in 2 years.
Oh yeah, I love me a Toyota.
Now, I went to Houston and we got picked up to go to dinner. And I kid you not, the Uber driver, her car was lit up. It was like a party scene.
Some of them have like
the lights.
Yeah.
She had lights in there. Like we went in and she's like, "You guys ready?" And like she like
shut up.
I was like, "Okay, ready for what?" And then we got in and she freaking just started like
So
it was like a nightclub in her car. And I was like, oh my God. And because we were in Houston to party and we were going to dinner, it like hella hit the mood. Yeah. And we tipped her so good because she did the intro to our evening. But it was like, I've never been in a car that was literally a nightclub, because here it's really just, you take me from one place to another. It wasn't like an experience. She definitely gave us an experience. Now I've started noticing when I get picked up, is, you have like bottled water and like these extra things.
I've had one that gave me a goodie bag that had like aspirin, liquid IV. Yeah. Just like things like,
so
like hangover stuff.
It was very like they add that experience, but then I don't know, to me, I just look at it as like, you take me point A to point B. So
maybe it's for the ratings and for the tips.
I don't know. Is that a thing?
So there's a whole movie on it called Stuber. Where the guy is doing exactly what you're saying. Me, however, I prefer to be a 5-star Uber driver. And the way you do that is to have a completely spotless car. You say, "Hi, my name is, are you going to?" And then you shut your mouth and you do not make a sound and you don't have anything playing on the radio. And that is how you get 5 stars in Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley.
I get that because that's what I would like.
But I guess in Houston, that makes sense, right? If you're out partying or even Hollywood.
Well, I think it's the time of night, right? Like the shift, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think, as you said,
because you can't do that at 5 o'clock.
You know which ones are going, like, based on the location and the time, and kind of what party you're going to get. And so if you want to do that experience, then you do that. But if I heard like a lot of times you're just taking people, like a lot of people just love the airport route to and from airports.
So the majority of the people I get in the mornings is high school kids trying to get to high school on time.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Oh, interesting. And
it's usually Indians from India who can't get a driver's license here because the insurance would be $500 a month.
Oh, sheesh.
And they just take an Uber to work.
What I know too is I know somebody who doesn't drive, and to go to work, they take Uber to and from.
How much do you think that would cost them?
Well, probably like $20. No? What?
So if it's a close one, usually work is when they only take Uber. They're charging them about $15 per trip, and I'm getting about $4.75
For that?
for that.
Really?
If it's a 15-minute trip, I'm getting paid about maybe $6, but they're only getting charged $16.
Oh,
Not 20.
Okay.
That's not bad then.
You don't have to deal with parking. You get dropped off right in the front. Like, you're good to go. And you don't have to warm up a car. You
can drink alcohol.
Yeah, you can chill. You don't have to worry about like crazy people on the road. You're right.
Yeah.
So
with Uber, do you use your own insurance, or do they have their own like car insurance or auto insurance? How does that work?
So with Uber, you have to get a special insurance. It's called rideshare insurance. And the only two people that offer that is State Farm or Mercury. And it's completely out of my pocket.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Is that on top of your regular car insurance? Okay.
Yes. It's about $60 a month.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, but it still eats up into your
right.
profit.
Oh.
So you're waiting until you hit your 20,000, and then from there you'll decide whether or not you stop or continue. But that's a pretty good side hustle. Like for me, I don't mind driving at a certain time.
I don't like driving, period. Like some people love to drive. Like my mom loves driving. Like she'll just go out and just drive. Yeah, no, I don't know. Not my mom.
But do you like to drive?
I love driving, but my favorite side hustle is actually just picking up free stuff on Facebook Market, cleaning it, and then selling it to other people.
That's a good deal. Because some people give good stuff out for free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that. What's the best thing that you picked up on that and sold? What's the profit that you, well, obviously 100% profit, but which one, how much did you make off one?
$700.
Get out of here. What was that?
So it was a very rich Indian man who was moving from a townhouse to a giant house. And he said, I don't need any of this stuff and I don't know what to do with it. What do you want? Do you want it? And I said, yeah, I'll take everything. So I filled up my RAV4 3 times and I sold all of it within a week and a half because it was very high quality stuff.
Well, if you have the like me, I have a whole bunch of stuff and I'm like, I just dump it at Goodwill. I just don't have the energy
to post things.
No, to post it, to hold it. I mean, when I want it out, I want it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Going back to the Uber thing. Though,
yeah.
I'm kind of like, I think so I remember one parent, he actually quit his full-time job and did Uber because he liked the flexibility and it actually made him the same amount of money, if not more than what he was doing. And he was working in tech. And he said, as long as you figure out the routes, you can actually manage and make money efficiently than just going to a regular 9-to-5 job. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, at my peak, I wasn't taking care of my son ever, and I made about $480 or $500 per day by driving completely in San Francisco proper, like the city of San Francisco.
I could see that.
Because every passenger is less than 1 minute away, and all the trips are within 10 minutes away.
See?
And the bonuses rack up exponentially.
Yeah.
When you say bonuses, what do you mean?
Every 3 trips you do, you get $15.
Oh. So Uber pays you a $15 bonus?
For every 3 trips you do in San Francisco.
Oh, in San Francisco.
So does Uber still have like these like programs that you can make side hustle, like more money than what your normal?
Yeah. Like, does it depend on the hours that you work? Will they pay you more? Or like if you work at like late night or anything like that? No.
No, there's not really any incentives for hours except early morning and very, very late night when the clubs let out and the bars let out.
I wouldn't want to do that hour. Is that the most lucrative one though? Like, do you get more bang for your buck if you do the late night shift?
It all depends if you're picking up at casinos or not. The casino guys, sometimes they win big and they tip you big. But if you're picking up at clubs or bars, those people aren't tipping you at all.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that. They probably wasted all their money, or they don't care, and they have no shame. No,
I'm not paying you more.
Yeah, I'm like I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I would do the early morning shift, taking people to the airport.
Yeah,
that would be me.
I've gotten when I came home from Disneyland, it was like the best.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing your stories with us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I need to take an Uber home from a graduation party today. So will you be my Uber driver, Al? I hope so. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your wild stories.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You're welcome.